Yeah. Sweat. Ooey booty galore. You mean you?
What's up, good people? Once again, you are chilling with Try. Yeah, this chilling with Try. A few questions from Bay. A few questions from the Bay. These questions, they took me somewhere. You know, they were good questions. I kind of went in. But yeah, man, we were just chilling, and she asked me.
What does consciousness mean to you?
You three for sure. I'm gonna make you never want to stop. You can forget about it.
Alright, so she asked me the question. I'm chilling, right? I'm like, and I turned to her. I'm like, damn, that's a good question, you know, and I answered the question as simply as possible. Initially, my first response mentally was, you know, I'm thinking gold, diamonds, bathing, you know, smell goods, the pineal gland, melanin, being compassionate towards one another. Just knowing that all of these things come out of Africa, the ancient Moorish people, Kemetic people just out of Egypt, Kemet, that all of these things come from there. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm like, how can I, you know, answer this question as briefly as possible, you know? But that's where I went with it. Like, being conscious means that you know the history of the black person and just the compassion that comes with it, the soul that comes with that, and being the original type of person. You know, and it really mostly, I would say it applies to black people. There are white people who know, you know, but you ain't gonna hear too many white people going around saying black people are way better in this area. You know, you just don't see that shit. You're gonna see a lot of black people. So these are the ones who need to be conscious or woke, as we like to say. Having that third eye open. Health, you know, eating better, you know, that stuff comes from us. But to break it down, you know, gold, diamonds, these were things that we were all about. We were rocking jewelry. And that's why, you know, we love to do it now. It's in our blood memory, our, you know, DNA memory. So that's that. As far as smell good, or, you know, we call it smell good now, but cologne, perfume, I'm sure we had it. We had hot combs. Just knowing this stuff, that's being conscious. You know, there was a time period during slavery where, you know, the white people that taught their young not to touch us because the black might rub off, you know. And then you got like situations today. Say white woman gets on an elevator with a black guy, clutches the purse. It's like your whole history is stealing from us. It's only during the transatlantic slave trade that we were, and you know, during Jim Crow and, you know, integration, that we were made to believe that we were bad and we were put in situations of poverty. So we kind of had to do things that we normally wouldn't do. So we were made to believe that we were this bad type of people. Not the case. So knowing that, you know, you're that much more conscious. And then I went on to say, like I was saying, the pineal gland. You know, that's the thing it's like in the middle of the brain, shaped like a pine cone. It helps with your senses. It helps with your perception of the world. It helps with the production of melanin, which makes a person a bit more compassionate, normally. As far as I know. And the pineal gland is larger in black people, typically. It's bigger, more developed, because we are the original people. And we didn't go through, we didn't put ourselves in the conditions that would get rid of the size of the pineal gland and get rid of the melanin. The thing that white people went through, you know, when they became white people. Let's be clear, they started as black people. We all started as African. And then melanin. You know, it's a pigment. You know, you can see it. But it's also internal. It's also within the person. What you would say is so the fact that I can do this so comfortably, you know.
So they divide, ecstasy multiply.
That's the melody. Knowing that is being conscious, I would say. Knowing that we are oppressed, I think that's being conscious. You know, knowing the situations, you know, knowing the things that have occurred up until now, you know, where black people stand, I think that's being conscious. The culture that we brought to other races and cultures, doing your hair, taking a bath, knowing that is being conscious. The foods that we eat, knowing that a lot of the foods that we eat are poison, you know, are not healthy, and knowing the ones to eat, that's conscious. And that's something that can be shared with every race and culture. Knowing, being healthy is being conscious. Knowing what to eat, that, and knowing that most doctors and people who knew how to be healthy were first black people. I think that all ties into being conscious as well when it comes to health. And another one of the main things that makes a person conscious is knowing about your spirituality, or at least trying to find your way spiritually. It pains me to say this because I was raised in the Catholic Church and then put on to other churches through, you know, my mom's husband, and, you know, just continuing on from there with her, you know, growing religiously and spiritually. But there's no Jesus Christ that's gonna come back and save you from anything. You know, a lot of people think that's his first and last name. You know what I'm saying? And Christ is a title. You know what I'm saying? And Jesus wasn't even his real name. You know, when you dig and find that person who the story is about, you just gotta find your own way. If there's any story that you can go by that's gonna save you, it's the story of the life that you are living right now. You gotta take bits and pieces out of your own life and find your way. Treat people right. Well, treat people how you want to be treated. That's one thing that is in the Bible that you can't argue with, because there's shit in the Bible that didn't start with the Bible. It's stuff that came from here and there, our history. Knowing that is being conscious. That was my answer for that. And that was the simplest way to put it, because, you know, there's so much more and so much more detail that I can go into with those topics to explain being conscious. And then she went on to ask me this.
What are your feelings towards a black person abused of black superiority?
Turn you around, I'm gonna keep on licking
So,
you, then you turn around once more.
Again, I thought about it. You know, I said, wow, you know, when you think about it, there are black people who practice black superiority. And my views on that, you know, I've heard black people that I look up to say that we need to be unapologetically black. And that means we are stronger. We are built stronger. Not only that, when we were brought over here, we were bred to be stronger. White supremacy. You got all this money, but as far as really being supreme, you got all this money, but you're ugly. You're ugly as hell. I'm a nice guy, so this is not to bash anyone, but I'm just gonna keep it hot. I don't know what all the Rockefellers look like. I don't know what all the Rothschilds look like. I do know that they don't look like me. Now, you do the math. That's what I mean. So how supreme are you? You know what I'm saying? And you can't move like this. You don't move like I move. That shit is worth a lot. So fuck your money. That's how I feel personally. I know that there's some wicked shit going on with the white supremacists, you know, some hateful shit, some, you know, just ugly things that are going on. And I don't see that as being supreme. As far as being a black supremacist, I don't think I have to. You know, I think that's just natural. Babe, that's how I feel, to answer your question. So, she said this third question was a two-part question. Kind of 3 parts, 3 or 4 parts. It's a big question. She asked me,
when I say oneness, what does that make you think of?
So I thought about it. I said, so I feel 2 different ways about the whole oneness thing. When I think of oneness, first I think of the world, you know, and us all being one. We're all connected, some way or another. You know, we're all human. You know, when it comes to emotions, we're just not different. You know, we're not that different. And that's all over the globe, you know, smile. Everybody understands a smile, no matter what language you speak. We're connected, you know, it's proven. I also thought about relationships, you know, a woman and man, you know, connecting. That's also unity. That's the making of, you know, you make one after having sex. Once, really, but after so many times having sex, man, you know, I've heard of people starting to look alike. You know, people fall in love, they start to look like brother and sister in certain ways. This shit is crazy, man. That's, you know, another way that we become one. You know, that proves that we're connected.
Extra cheese, extra cake, extra mo, my ice shine, extra
You know, she was like, that leads to my second part of the question, and she was like,
instead of seeing color, do you think we as a human race can become one?
looking for some layer to go, then I'm ready to go.
Nowadays, that answer is, you know, it's more simple than it was because of YouTube. Hello? You're looking at me right now. Why the rest of the world can't look at me right now? If there are 13 families who got all this wealth, all the wealth, you know, and you know, they so-called control the world, you know, this shit is weird. You know, it's like, yo, you got all this money, you know, you got enough money to feed the world and hook everybody up with a laptop. It's the fucking truth. So hell yeah, I believe we can all be connected. We can all be on one page, one accord, and we could all be one again if everybody just knew the same shit. You know what I'm saying? There's still parts in the world where there are slaves. It's like, what the hell's going on? You know, it's ridiculous. Yeah, we have our liberties here in America, but at the same time, we see you. I see you, see me see you. So yeah, we can all be connected. I'm sorry, I went on ranting there. Got in my feelings a little bit. But yeah, we can all be connected with YouTube. I think that would be a start. Change what's in the schools. Put that shit all over the world. Put the truth in the schools. And like I said, it's scientifically proven that we're connected. So if there's this type of thing going on in one part of the world, this going on in another part, it's affecting, you know, it's affecting both parts. Whether you know it or not, accept it or not, believe it or not, I'm telling your ass.
How do you think we can do it?
3 things that I would do to achieve oneness and get rid of this racism that exists in the world is, okay, check this out. Every nation has a ruler. And like I said before, we got YouTube, man. We got TV all over the world. Okay, we recognize that one president, you know, communicates with another president. You know, this is going on. Why can't y'all come together? You know what I'm saying? Let us see y'all come together. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? We people. Come together. Shit. Kick it. Let's see y'all kicking it together. That's one thing. As far as the regular people of the world, interact with each other more intelligently. If you're talking to a black person and you're a white person, imagine that they were white. Well, I mean, it only takes, what, 2 seconds to do that? It's gonna change the whole conversation. My man on Hidden Colors 2, he was talking about, I think, the Haitian Revolution, Bookman. to Saint Louis Overture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, he was saying that one of them quoted, "You want to be free? Cast aside your white God and embrace your African spirit. You're free." Just that simple. As far as us all connecting and being one again and having unity, I would say you got to bring quotes like that home so that when you step out into the world, this is who you are. Now, he didn't just say that to black people. He said that and he meant it for everyone. Cast aside your white God. Embrace your African spirit. You are free. So we got to start with being real with ourselves. You know, it starts within.
Yeah. Swag. Ooey, booty galore. You, me, and you three.